Wow. Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to set up for the first time. We're going to do a first clean, the first look on this brand new Roborock Q10 S5 robot vacuum cleaner. Now I did buy this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. This is costing $400 right now. It's full price. Hopefully it's going to go on sale soon. I will put a link to it in my show description notes. If you purchase the product using my link, the product won't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. It is a way of helping support my channel. That way I can continue to do these honest reviews. So looking at the robot vacuum cleaner, I love that it has LiDAR navigation. With LiDAR navigation, it's going to map your house, and you're going to be using the Roborock app, which I really do like. And in that app, you can tell it what rooms to vacuum or mop. You can put it on a schedule, and it's going to clean and vacuum in nice straight lines. It doesn't bounce off the walls. It knows exactly where it is in the app. Now, this robot will vacuum and mop your house at the same time. It does have a docking station. The docking station is for charging only. You're going to have to manually empty the dustbin, and you're going to have to clean the mop pad. Let's go over the specs real quick. It has 10,000 pascals of suction. It does have a mop pad that it can raise and lower 8 millimeters. Okay, so let's take off some of the tape. We got tape here. We got tape around back. There was some tape on the docking station. It does come with this little pad here. That's two-sided tape on the bottom that you can stick to your floor. The docking station is going to sit right by it. So when the robot is docked, the mop pad is going to be wet, and so it won't damage your floors. You do have to plug the base station in. There is a power cord here, and you're going to plug it in right there on the side. Now the power cord is 6 feet long. You're going to plug it into 100 to 240 volts, 50 or 60 hertz. It consumes about 0.8 amps. Now you don't have any cord storage, but you do have a piece of Velcro here, so you can wrap the cable up and put the Velcro around it. This is the charging points. There's a little bit of gripper material here. And the sensor here, this is going to help the robot back up to and find the dock. Docking station measures 4 inches tall, 6 inches left to right, and about 2 inches front to back. This is going to stick out the wall about 2 inches. All right, let's measure the robot. It's right at almost 14 inches. Now, to the tallest point is the LiDAR. That's like a cap that's over the LiDAR. About 3 and 15/16, almost 4 inches tall. Now, we do have 2 physical buttons here that we're going to be turning it on, but there's a power button, and that's also a start and a pause button, and there's a home button. That tells it to go back home. This is a reactive tach obstacle avoidance, so it does not have a camera on the front. This sensor is just going to try to sense things and avoid them. It is going to struggle with things that are low to the ground, but if it's tall enough for the LiDAR to hit, so if it's above about 3 inches, then it's going to do a pretty good job of avoiding them. But things that are low to the ground, like a cable or a small toy, it is possibly going to run it over. It does have the bumper technology, so that if it does hit something and activates the bumper, it'll turn it around. But since this has LiDAR navigation, it will vacuum and mop in nice straight lines. Let's go around to the side. Here's our charging points. There is another sensor that's going to help it back up to the dock. Now we're going to lift this up. This is the dustbin. Now this dustbin serves 2 purposes. The robot's going to vacuum your house. Everything's going to go into this side of the dustbin. The other side is a water tank, and there's where the water comes out. And you're going to fill it up right here. So you got to put your water in here. There is a water pump in here. It's going to squirt the water out onto the mop pad through here. And so when this fills up, you're going to take this to the trash can, and you got to empty it. So you're just going to pull this little latch, and everything inside the dustbin, you're going to empty it out into your trash can. Now, once in a while, there is some maintenance you got to do. There's a filter here. This is a reusable filter, but you should clean this about every 2 weeks to a month. It's reusable. Wash it out. Make sure you let it dry, and the sun works the best, and then put it back. That will get dirty, and that will prevent it from having good suction. And they give you nice instructions right here on how to do that. So then you've got to manually empty the dustbin and then put it back every time. Now here's the bottom of the robot. Let's talk about the brush roller. So it's got jaw scraper comb. It is a single brush roller, but it has this comb down here that's going to help get the long hairs off of the brush roller. You are going to get some hair wrap around it since it is a one-piece unit, but that comb does help with it. And it is easy to clean and service this brush roller. There's the door. You simply put the door on. It does have a side brush here. It doesn't extend it or anything, but it is anti-tangle. And I think that does work very well as far as keeping the long hairs off of it. Up front, this is just a free spinning wheel. It does have a carpet sensor. Now, since it has a carpet sensor, it can raise and lower the mop pad 8 millimeters, which is very nice. These are the cliff sensors, so it doesn't fall down your stairs. You will have to clean those. Those are just little glass windows. And then there's the drive wheels. Now, bringing our attention back to the back here, this is the mop pad attachment. So here's the actual mop pad. This has a vibrating mop pad, and that's where it wets it. So it only wets it in one spot. You're supposed to pre-wet this mop pad before you start mopping. And again, when the robot's turned over, you simply can just press these buttons and it slides right out. You don't have to flip it over every time. After it's done mopping, you're gonna have to take this off and put this in the laundry yourself. The mop pad is gonna get pretty dirty. It just slides off, and then you'll get another one, or the one you have here, and then slide it back on in this little track right here. So you've got to do the work of cleaning the mop pad by putting it in the laundry. There we go. Make sure you just slide it in and get that whole thing in the track. It's not too bad once you get it started. Now, this is what vibrates. There's a little arm here that's going to vibrate. This little section here moves back and forth while it's mopping. That's going to help get stubborn stains off, but it also helps prevent streaking. And then just there. And again, like I said, because it has the carpet sensor, when it senses carpet, the robot can automatically lift the mop pad. That's a really nice feature. And then it doesn't simply, whenever it is mopping, not only is it vibrating this, but it's also pushing down. It's not simply just dragging it on the hardwood floors or flooring. It is pushing down, and it has a water pump, so it's keeping the mop pad wet, and it's pushing down to mop. That actually does a really good job of mopping. Now, in the app, you can fine tune where the carpet is. You can put no mopping zones, no-go zones. That's why I love the Roborock app so much. Okay, so let's get the Roborock app and connect this to our phone. We're gonna turn it on, press and hold the power button for about 3 or 4 seconds. Let up, it's gonna play a tune. You could also plug the dock in and then just dock it, and that also turns it on. Now, I did not see there's that tune. It's a different sounding tune than their older robot. That means we've got it turned on. And if you've got it plugged into the dock, it'll say charging. So you plug those, you just push it back till it touches those. Now, I don't see a light on the docking station. I've got it plugged in though. Okay, you are gonna have to get the Roborock app. You do have to log in with a username and password. If you don't have one, you gotta create it. It is free to use. Click the little plus button, give it access to your camera. You've got a QR code here, scan that with your camera. So we've already powered it on. We gotta reset the Wi-Fi. And so since it's powered on, we're gonna press and hold these 2 buttons here until it talks to us.
Ready for network
Okay,
setup.
let go. We have to make sure and check this little box. Next. Select your Wi-Fi with the arrow. It only works on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Give it your Wi-Fi password. Hit next. Connect. You make sure and hit this button right here. Now, the robot's transmitting a Wi-Fi signal. Your tablet needs to join that Wi-Fi. So click join. You may have to manually do it. I have had to go into my Wi-Fi settings and actually physically connect to this, but it seems to be working automatically. Then your tablet or your phone will go back to your normal Wi-Fi. So make sure your iPhone or tablet you're using is going to be on the same Wi-Fi that you want this to be on.
Connecting to Wi-Fi. Stand by.
This is usually very quick and easy. Then we're going to put water in the water tank. We're going to wet the mop pad. All right, successful.
Wi-Fi connected.
Enter device, and at this point, you got to agree to some information. We're going to go fill the water tank up and dock it. Now, it does have a little port, and again, one side of it, I hate when I spell it, but one side of it is just the water tank. Let's get the mop pad. Press these 2 little buttons, and it simply just slides off. Let's go wet that. You are supposed to do this every time you mop. Getting ahead of myself. Leave this off. So we're gonna map our house first. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The reason you wet it is because the water only comes down in this little spot here. And I have tested one that I didn't pre-wet it, and it only got about that area wet. So leave this off. It's okay that the water tank's full. We got to map our house first. And then this just snaps on. Not really, just kind of sits there. And then let's dock the robot without the mopping pad. So just kind of line it up, and it should say the word charging.
Charging.
And this light, I think, will kind of glow as it's charging. Okay, so these are some important questions we're going to walk through. Prepare your house for mapping. I have multi-level, so you can select that. I have carpet. Do not disturb is a very important one. I definitely would leave that on, and I would make sure the voice alerts are quiet when it's in do not disturb. You can change the time, and we can access all of these later on. But it's going to, and I don't know why this isn't on, but that definitely needs to be on. Otherwise, it's going to map your house and it won't save it. That's a weird thing not to be on. There is an update. You can hit not now. I'm going to do the update just because I like to make sure it has the latest things. Select auto update on, and it says update now. Select that. It's usually pretty quick on these robots that aren't as fancy. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, put the base station up against the wall. It can't be really close to your stairs, and you need about a foot clear on the other side of it and about 3 feet clear in front of it. Now, again, this is that little thing when you would put down first. It's just got some two-sided tape. And click the little back arrow. We should be updated. Yeah, it's just going to restart it, and it's going to be good to go.
Completed.
Okay, so we're ready. We're going to do the quick mapping. There is a voice pack update. Click on that. Yeah, update. These go super quick. There's where the volume is. Okay. Let's go back. Now let's do quick mapping. Just select this button. Make sure all your doors are open. Turn the lights on. I mean, I think it does help. But, and just kind of put furniture where it normally is. This thing's going to randomly go through your house. And the coolest thing in the world is going to happen. Sit back and watch the map of your house unfold in real time. This is why LiDAR navigation is what I don't know what the future holds, but right now LiDAR is the only way to go. And so just sit back, don't follow it around or anything, but it's going to create a map of your house. This doesn't take long, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then we're going to edit the map. I'll go through all the recommended settings. Okay, so it's done mapping our house. It did a great job of mapping. Now, I closed the door, would have done more, but that's a really good job of mapping. It did sense where some of the carpet was, but if we're going to do a full home clean, it's going to sense where all the carpet is. So let's go edit the map. So we can divide, combine, name, and we can pick floor type. We can add no-go zones, set a threshold, fine-tune where the carpet is. We can erase rooms, and I love that we can do cleaning sequence. That's thumbs up for me. All right, let's do a divide. It did a pretty good job, but I want to divide this room. Now, if that is solid, it'll work, but if it's dotted, it's not going to work. So move these around like that. Hit the little check mark here, and you can combine rooms. So it did a good job. Pick 2 rooms, and it'll combine them into one. Let's do a name. Pick this room. I do recommend using these names because that helps with the different automations and stuff. But you can actually put whatever you want there. I'm going to put corner test. Click OK. Now let's do floor type. Select this room. This will clean in floor direction. So as you can see in my room here, I've got these planks are going this way. It is better to mop in the direction of the grain of the wood. And so by telling it where I have vertical, or if it was going this way on the map, I would do horizontal. You could put tile or other. And you can fine tune this all later, but take the time, and it is better to kind of do most of this right now before you start. Okay, let's do a no-go zone. These are super important. Again, you can add these as time goes. Click the little plus button. Then you can expand this, make it as big as you want. You got to keep it away from the dock. You can pinch and zoom the app. Again, I love the Roborock app. It just works very well. There's a computer desk right here. I know it's going to struggle. You can do a no mop zone. So if you find that the carpet sensor is not working as good as you'd like, and it's mopping a section of your rug, you can put a no mop zone. I'm not going to do that now. And again, you can fine tune that later. But the no mopping zone is the same color. I wish that was different. Yeah, it's red, but it has a dotted line around it. So if it's a solid line, it's a no-go zone. Dotted means no mopping. I'm going to delete that one. And you can do invisible walls. If you don't want it to go into a room, just put that right at the entrance of the room and it won't go into that room. Okay, hit the little check mark. Thresholds, you can put a threshold. These things do not go over very tall thresholds. It's a little yellow line. I'm not even sure what it does when it senses that threshold, but we'll test that later. But you can put thresholds. Carpet, again, add a carpet section. Again, it's easier to have it, do an entire house cleaning a couple times, and then you can tell it where the carpet is. Or you can fine tune the carpet. You can erase a room. Cleaning sequence, I love this. So when it does a whole home clean, what sequence do you want? So what I typically do is mine cleans in the morning and I have it work its way back to the bedrooms. So you'd pick, it's going to do this one, this one, this one, then this one, then this one. And then you hit that, check mark. You can change them up later, but keep in mind if you ever edit the map, it does mess up the cleaning sequence and you can just go back and fix it. Very nice. So, and then up here, click this little drop down arrow. You can map management. That's where you get into single level, save the map, and add. You can add more maps, and you can name the map. Map naming. So this is the. Hit it back. Okay, so we've got our map. It shows up on the home page all the time. You could do a full cleaning. But let's just go over the settings real quick. The gear wheel, cleaning history. This is where you're going to find all the history of how it's cleaned your house. Schedule cleaning. The number one thing I tell people, put your robot on a schedule. Have it do your entire house once a week and have it mop your kitchen or your bathrooms twice a week, something like that. Maintenance. This is where you're going to see where to reset all the filters. Kind of goes over how to do it, but you got to reset the timers. Okay, let's go. This is an important setting. Carpet cleaning settings. Now, the default is the one I use, Rise. The robot will automatically lift its mop pads to vacuum carpet areas without mopping them. You could put Cross, which it'll just cross and it won't vacuum if the mop pad's installed. You could put Ignore, but it will mop carpet. And you could put Avoid. Void is really tough because once it senses carpet, it just avoids it at all costs, which... if the mopping pad's installed. If the mopping pad's, it knows when that mopping pad's installed. If it's not installed, I don't think it'll avoid it, but maybe I never used that one. Now, because this carpet boost, it can get annoying. Whenever it's on carpet, it ramps the suction all the way to max, which it's kind of loud. It's louder that way. I find that to be kind of annoying sometimes, so I usually turn my carpet boost off, but it does need ramped up suction when it is on carpet, so tough one there. Floor cleaning settings. Since I picked my floor direction, I got to turn that on now. So it'll clean in the floor direction. Obstacle avoidance, it's on. I'm not sure why you would turn that off. You want it to avoid obstacles. Map management, robot voice. You can do the volume, change the voice. More settings. Do not disturb is on. That's where you would turn it on. Off-peak charging is off. You can turn that on. Child lock. And the unit, square feet or meters. And then robot positioning, that if you select that,
Hi, I'm here.
if you can't find your robot, it'll speak that to you so you can go find it. Remote control I've never used. It lets you do spot cleaning. I'm not sure. I gotta use that because they all have it. Device information. This is where you change the name. There's the serial number if you have any problems. We went over firmware. I would turn that to auto. All right, back. Okay, we're back. We got 50% charge. Now let's go over, we got full, room, or zone. When you do full, it does the entire house in that order you told it. You can do a room clean. You can select different rooms and it will clean it in that order that you select, or you can do a zone. And then you can just, this blue thing where it'll clean inside that blue thing and click another one and then another one, or you can just have 1, 2, or 3. Let's go back to full. Now in full, it can vacuum and mop. Okay, there's no AI auto clean, you know, there's no auto, I forget what they call that, but you're going to have to tell it what suction power you want. Now, it knows the mop pad's not installed. Let's go install the mop pad now. Since we're done mapping, now you do have to I wish it was the opposite, but when it's docked, you got to undock it, and now, which isn't that big a deal.
Mop cloth mount reinstalled.
It's easier with two hands. And then just take it and then make sure you dock it again.
Charging.
Okay, the mop cloth's installed. You only got 3 levels. And again, pre-wetting that mop pad is important. 1 or 2 passes. I like that it has this deep cleaning. If you know you've got some mud in the room, definitely put it on the deep cleaning. Or you can just select vacuum only, mop only. This is a nice setting. Vacuum, then mop. So you could have it vacuum your house. It's going to keep the mop pad lifted, and then it will mop your floors. And then you can customize each room how you want each room. I want it to low suction in this room, but I want high suction in this room. Low water flow here. It's really endless how you can do this. I love the functionality of it. So let's go back to vacuum and mop. Balance, water flow, yep. And then that's it. There's no docking station. You know, you click that, it's just charging. When you want to start the process, just hit the play button. When you want to stop it, there's going to be a pause, and you can tell it to go dock. Now the smart speakers, you got to go back to this home screen, and you got to click your profile. And it's under there if you want to share the device with somebody, but the smart speakers is right here. I don't see Matter support yet. This may have it. Usually it's under the settings inside the robot, but here's the different ones. This one works the best, the Apple one, because it's all in, you do it right here. These, you've got to use the other, you got to give it permissions, then go to those apps, and it does work, especially this one, but it's just a little bit, few more steps. And there it is right there. You can start and stop it from here, but let's just enter the device. Is that another update? There is another update. Oh. Improved map and zone. Avoid voice alerts for cleaning mode. Fixes buzz. Okay, let's do it.
Updating firmware.
Okay, so let's go have the Roborock Q10 S5 do a corner cleaning test. We're gonna select the corner. We're gonna do vacuum and mop, suction power, turbo, high water flow, 2 passes, and deep route. All right, and then just hit the play button. So it's gonna undock. Again, I pre-wet the mop pad, so it's ready to go. It's gonna travel to that room and start mopping. Okay, here's the Roborock Q10 S5 vacuuming and mopping this floor. It's got a bunch of long hairs. It's doing a good job. Now it doesn't have a side brush that it can extend into the corner. Yeah, he's doing a good job. We're going to check the obstacle avoidance and how it mops up these muddy paw prints. Now it does have a mop pad that it can raise and lower 8 millimeters. It's got a carpet detect sensor, and it's vibrating that mop pad also. It's got an onboard water tank, and it's squirting water down onto that mop pad to keep it wet. And since it has LiDAR navigation, it can vacuum and mop in nice straight lines. All right, it does struggle with cables sometimes. Those can be really hard to detect. Yeah, it is going to run that cable over. Okay, I had to take the cable out. It does better with like household objects like a shoe or a larger kid's toy. Now I turned the suction power down so we could hear that mop pad that it's vibrating it. It is doing a good job of mopping. So it's slowed down, it senses that something's there. Now it's going to kind of go around that obstacle from different angles. It doesn't have a camera or anything on board, but it does have a sensor on the front that can recognize obstacles. That's what it's doing right now, and then it's going to avoid that. And then in the app, we see that it recognized the obstacle. It doesn't take a picture, but it avoids it. Wow, it's doing a good job on those muddy paw prints. Now the mud is wet and dry in some areas. Wow, did an excellent job because some of that is dried on. Wow. Huh, that is amazing. I did an excellent job. And I really like in the app, you can see right where it's cleaned and you can see where it is in real time. Okay, I really like when it has this deep cleaning pattern. It's on the second pass and it's doing the perimeter of the room. Now, again, it doesn't have a side brush that extends, but that is a really good job of cleaning. Along the edges, we're gonna check for hair wrap. Got those muddy paw prints. Again, it's gonna do the perimeter of the room again because we're in the deep cleaning. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. It didn't get that little area right there, but man, for the center of the room, this is amazing. Now, I did put some fake dog poop down. It doesn't recognize cables very well. You can see it didn't recognize. It does go into furniture pretty good. Now, a few of the hairs it kind of drug, but on the second pass, it should get them. But I was blown away by this. Again, they have a Q10 X5 that doesn't vibrate the mop pad. It's not sensing an obstacle, I don't think. Oh, it's going this way now, that's why. And it should know that that shoe is there, yeah. And it's gonna avoid that shoe again. There's also really cool features. You can do so say it's cleaning your entire house and you're like, oh, somebody just made a mess here. Tap the plus button and you can add another zone. It'll go clean that zone and then finish the job that it was doing. Or say it's bothering you. You've got it cleaning your entire house, but you want it to clean your entire house, but it's just really bothering you in a room. You can hit skip area. It'll skip the room it's in and go right to the next room. Just super nice features. I can change everything on the fly. I can ramp the suction up. There's high. I can go to quiet. I can change the water flow. I wish this deep clean was on more Roborocks. They seem to just have these two. I like that deep clean pattern. And again, we can just see exactly where it is. Yeah, this is retailing for 400 bucks. Yeah, man, when this comes down, if you can buy this for 300, I would pay 350 for this because it is a pretty cool robot that's doing a great job. 400 at full price, it's going to be a good robot, but you're just paying a little bit too much in my opinion. You could bump, see, I think it did recognize it. You could bump up to a Dream L10S that washes the mop pads. On this pass, it should sense that. But okay, I think it is. But it gets too close to it. I mean, yeah, see, even the brush roller, it's not going to run it over, which is good. But it gets pretty close to it. And if it's ever off, you know, say that fake poop was just over a little bit and it was, you know, it all has to deal with how it sees it. That robot could have been in a cleaning pattern just a little bit off and then it runs it over. So while it's recognizing it now, which is good, that's not foolproof with pet waste. No robot vacuum cleaner is foolproof. It's just way too many variables. It could be flat, it could be runny. You know, I don't know that one will ever be foolproof. And if you've ever seen the videos with one that run them over, it's pretty bad. So okay, it's working. And it does recognize it. It doesn't, again, it's not going to take a picture. It's not going to tell you what it was. Now, the reason you get that little symbol is because I'm just learning some stuff about obstacle avoidance. It has to be programmed in the robot from Roborock, what these things look like. And then it just compares it to what its memory is. And if it compares it and comes up with a resemblance, then it's going to give you that symbol. Like Lego toys, it doesn't recognize, but it tries to avoid them, but you'll just get it'll just go around them. So we're getting, this is pretty incredible. Back to mopping. I mean, I should do all right, let's do it's a little dirty, but you know, that's pretty incredible. Again, corner cleaning, it's not there. It's not designed for corner cleaning. That is more advanced robots that can extend that side brush. That's for anti-tangle, which we're going to flip it over and see how the long hairs did, because it picked up all the long hairs. But with this model, you're going to be doing all the work. I'll be emptying the dustbin and taking the mop pad off myself.
Cleaning completed. Returning to dock.
All right, it's going to lift the mop pad and return to the base station. And what a difference. We've got a $1,600 robot compared to a $400 robot. Just a base station. This one is, it auto empties, has dirty water tank, clean water tanks. It washes the mop pads all in one. Love it, but super expensive. But worth it. This is a good robot. The Curve X. I've got lots of videos on it. All right, so that's all it does. It'll be sitting there waiting for you. There is that plastic thing you can put down underneath, but let's just see how it did. Oh, wow, it did pretty good. Now, again, I didn't say it would be 100% foolproof, but that comb does help with long hair wrap, we can see. Yeah, that did a good job. There's the mop pad. I've got to take it off. Press. Normally, you don't have to flip it over like I did. You just press these two little buttons on each side, and it comes off. And then I can just take this over to the sink, pull that off, wash that up. And again, once, you know, I'm not sure exactly how often, but you are going to have to manually empty this yourself. And there's everything. There's all the long hairs. Did an excellent job. But there's the water tank side. So yeah, I highly recommend this. This is just a dad approved. $400 is kind of high for what you're getting, but hopefully this will go on sale. I will put a link to it in the show description notes. If you purchase the product using my link, the product won't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. It is a way of helping support my channel. That way I can continue to do these honest reviews. I'll be comparing this to the Q10 M5 Plus. That's a much cheaper robot, and it definitely shows. I also have a brand new website, justadadapproved.com. That's where you can see all the products that, not all the products, but I developed it myself. So it's really generic and basic, but at least I got a place where I can start showing people which products I approve of instead of going through all my videos. You know, I got over 5,000 videos on my YouTube channel, which can be really hard to decipher and figure out. But on this webpage, Just a Dad Approved, all one word, justadadapproved.com, you can see the robot vacuum cleaners I approve, the coffee makers, vacuum cleaners, and different other products that I recommend. So again, it's got the Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. This is going to be an amazing product. I can't thank you enough for all your support and help. This YouTube channel would not be possible without all of us, and I feel like this is our channel. People have been requesting for more fake poop videos. Again, it did recognize it. They're just not foolproof. So thanks everybody. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Here it is on its docking station. You don't have to take the mop pad off because it does have a carpet sensor, and it can sense when it's on carpet and lift that mop pad. But it is only 8 millimeters, which is good for like area rugs. But for thicker carpet, it is a good idea to remove the mop pad. It's really simple. There's just these little buttons on the side. I remove the mop pad, and we're going to be vacuuming only. We're going to tell the robot to vacuum. We can put it on turbo and 1 pass.
Starting zone cleaning.
Okay, it's going to undock and go vacuum that room. So since it has LiDAR navigation, it is able to vacuum and mop in nice straight lines. It's going to first do the perimeter of the room and then go back and forth in the center of the room, making straight lines. Now I do have the suction ramped up pretty high, so it is a little loud, but it's doing a good job of vacuuming. Wow. Yeah, that's excellent. Wow, it's doing a good job. I'd say it picked up, if that's only 1 pass. I could have put it on 2 passes and it would go back and forth this way. Then that room would be perfectly clean. And again, there's the nice straight lines that it makes. All right.
Returning to dock.
Okay. It's going to go back to the base station. I got to empty out the dustbin. Now, you don't have to empty it out every time, but I'm going to go ahead and empty it out to show you. All right. It found the docking station. Now it's going to turn around and dock and start charging.
Charging.
Okay, so I got to go down here once in a while, and I got to grab the dustbin. It's also the water tank for when it mops.
Dustbin and water tank combo unit removed.
Wow, it did a
No
good
dustbin
job.
or filter in the robot. Reinstall them.
It did a good job. Take it over to the trash can. Now this little door, just pop it open. Trying to do this one-handed. Whoops. Whoops. I should have free hand. But anyway, there. Wow, it did a good job. Very simple. Put the dustbin back in.
Dustbin and water tank combo
Put it back on the
unit
charging, and it's ready to go for next time.
Charging.
Absolutely love it. Vacuuming, mopping, A+. It's just a little expensive right now, and I do prefer the ones that this robot with the Plus, the S5 Plus, has an auto empty station, which I absolutely love. But it is like another extra $150 for that. But this is an amazing robot. Highly recommend. When you can get this for around $300 or so, it's going to be just a fabulous robot. It's a premium robot. Not so much the Q7, that feels like a cheap robot. The Q10, this does not feel like a cheap robot. It's got all the fancy features, but not quite as much as the $1,600 robot. And again, I do use links, so I'll put a link to it in the show description notes. I also have a new website called Just a Dad Approved. So in that website, justadadapproved.com, you can see which robot vacuum cleaners I recommend. It's got where you can click on it, buy it off of Amazon. Again, those are kind of links, same thing. If you purchase the product using that link on my website or in the show description notes, I get a small commission from the sale. It's a way of helping support my channel. That way I can continue to buy these robots with my own money, give you my complete honest opinion. Roborock hasn't contacted me. This is a really nice series. This is a brand new Q10 series. They got 4 models. I've got all 4 models. I'm going to be telling you what the differences is. It's very little. But eventually these will go on sale, and these are going to be amazing robots. I'm also going to be comparing them. I got a bunch of the old ones, the Q7s and the Q5s. Those are being heavily discounted right now, so I'll be comparing them to those. But again, there are some of those on my website because the price point's just too good to pass up right now. So again, I do appreciate everybody's support. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. JustADadApproved.com.